fluffy as a pillow. Sun peeking out saying hello. Playing footsie wootsy toe to toe. Well, he asked to kiss me and it got me blushing, but with a little innocent persuasion. I let him hold my hand, my heart was racing. The butterflies were only in the sky. Rocking in that old Texas swing, hanging from that weeping willow tree. Barefoot in the blue grass, just like the breeze. Oh, we're rocking in that old Texas swing. We lost time, it was getting late. The sun went down, we just had to stay. But the moon chaperoned from the starlit sky as we swung by the light of the fireflies.
Hello and welcome to Music History. My name is John Dotero and today is January 10th and let's get started. We got a lot to cover today, a lot of birthdays too. In 1953, Joe Stafford was at #1 on the UK singles music chart with You Belong to Me. Joe was originally a singer with Tommy Dorsey until 1942. Joe Stafford was the first female to have a #1 on the UK singles music chart. Elvis Presley made his first recordings for RCA Records in 1956 at the Methodist Television, Radio, and TV studios in Nashville. Heartbreak Hotels was one of the songs recorded during this session. Tommy Steele and the Steelmen were at #1 on the UK singles music chart in 1957 with Singing the Blues. Guy Mitchell had been at #1 the previous week with his version of the same song and then returned to #1 the following week. Jerry Lee Lewis was at #1 on the UK singles music chart in 1958 with his song Great Balls of Fire. Lewis was the only major white rock and roll star to play piano rather than guitar. The Rolling Stones recorded Not Fade Away at Olympic Studios in London, England in 1964. The song, which was first recorded by Buddy Holly and his band, The Crickets, became the Stones' first U.S. single. The first U.S. Beatles album, introducing the Beatles, was released on Vee-Jay Record in 1964. The album cover showed John, Paul, and George with their new mop haircuts, which soon became a big fad with all the kids. Ringo had yet to convert. Vee-Jay would be forced to stop selling the disc by the end of the year because of legal complications. But by then, over 1.3 million copies had been sold. Not many people know the advertising agent Bill Fries. Nope. People can't call who Bill Fry is, but they do know C.W. McCall. Bill Fries took his stage name C.W. McCall and trucked his way to #1 on the U.S. singles music chart in 1976 with his single Convoy. Country star Merle Haggard takes a shot at the #1 spot on the Billboard Country Music Chart in 1981 with I Think I'll Stay Here and Drink. Cyndi Lauper made Grammy history in 1984 as she became the first female recording artist since Bobby Gentry in 1967 to be nominated for 5 Grammy Awards. The nominations were for Album of the Year, Best New Artist, Best Pop Vocal Performance in Female category, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. In 1997, singer and Mr. Soul himself, James Brown, received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Martina McBride flies her way into the #1 spot on the Country Music Billboard chart in 1998 with A Broken Wing. The Bee Gees' Maurice Gibb was fighting for his life in 2003 after a heart attack following major stomach surgery. The 53-year-old singer had to be rushed to the hospital after collapsing at his Florida home. Gene Simmons found himself in a lawsuit from an ex-girlfriend in 2005. Georgianne Walsh Ward, who was 53 at the time, of New York, was made out to be a sex-addicted nymphomaniac. Miss Walsh Ward said during a VH1 documentary her photo was flashed up as Simmons talked about his past sexual relationships. Miss Ward had dated Simmons for 3 years when he was a student. In the documentary, Simmons spoke proudly of having sex with over 4,000 women. The band Radiohead was at the #1 spot on the U.S. Music Album Chart in 2008 with their physical release of In Rainbows. The album was originally sold via the internet just to chosen fans. The album sold over 122,000 copies during its first week on release. This gave the band a second U.S. chart topper following 2000's Kid A, which sold an initial 207,000 copies. In 2009, Taylor Swift was the musical guest on Saturday Night Live. Taylor Swift performed the songs Love Story and Forever and Always. And now, as I said, it's time to say happy birthday to the people that brought us great music or had a hand in creating the music we all love. Those born today, January 10th, are, and we do have a lot of them, Jerry Wexler, born in 1917. Jerry was a producer and record company executive. He co-owned Atlantic Records and was vice president at Warner Brothers. Jerry worked with big names in the industry. They included Ray Charles, Bob Dylan, Phil Sector, Dr. John, Dusty Springfield, Dire Straits, and many more. Johnny Ray, born in 1927, Johnny was a U.S. teen idol. He had the U.S. #2 music single in 1956, Just Walking in the Rain. Johnny went on to record many other top 40 hits. Scott McKenzie was born in 1943. Scott had the U.S. #4 music single, San Francisco, Be Sure to Wear Some Flowers in Your Hair. Scott, at one point in time, also auditioned for the band The Monkees. Jim Croce was born in 1943. Jim was a U.S. singer and songwriter who had the U.S. #1 music single in 1973 with Time in a Bottle. Rod Stewart was born in 1945. Rod had success not only with several bands, but a solo career as well. His singing and songwriting skills were attracted by many. Rod had the U.S. #1 single in 1975, Maggie May. His debut album in 1971, Every Picture Tells a Story, was the first album ever to simultaneously be on the #1 charts in the U.S. and the U.K. Ainsley Dunbar was born in 1946. Ainsley was known for being the drummer for the rock band Journey and later for the rock band Whitesnake. Bob Lang was born in 1946. Bob was a member of the Mindbreakers. They had the U.S. #1 single, Game of Love, and the 1966 #2 single, Groovy Kind of Love. Neil Smith was born in 1946. Neil was known for being the drummer for Alice Cooper. They had the U.S. #7 single, School's Out. Donald Fagen was born in 1948. Donald later on became the vocals and keyboardist for the music group Steely Dan. Pat Benatar was born in 1953. Pat is a U.S. singer and songwriter and 4-time Grammy Award winner. Lucy Martin was born in 1955. Lucy provided vocals for the band Chic. They had the 1978 U.S. #1 music single, Le Freak. Michael Schenker was born in 1955. Michael is the guitarist and the leader of the band The Scorpions. Sean Colvin was born in 1958. Sean is a singer-songwriter. And last Matt Robbins was born in 1978. Matt was a guitarist with the band Three Doors Down. There you have it, folks. That's your music history for January 10th. My name is John DeTiro. Go out and enjoy your day, enjoy your music. And as Casey Kasem would always end, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Thank you. Have a great day.